Episode 352, What It Do, honoring the legacy of the late and great Bill Russell. And we're talking about him here on the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Of course, we're talking about that Deshaun Watson suspension finally came out. How many games? We'll tell you. And what this means for the Cleveland Browns and when Deshaun Watson will be returning will be quite interesting for Ravens fans. We'll also be breaking down training camp. Big Raj, our social media producer, was out there live at M&T Bank Stadium. And also, we take a drive down 95 South. We get with our commander, Crevonte, and get a commander's report about the Washington Commanders and the injury that will keep one of their stars out for week one. We give you a Brittany Griner update. Could she be coming home before the end of the month? We sure hope so. And of course, we get Dre's thoughts and Roger's recap of SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw tonight. And of course, we end the show. We get goofy as well. We're biting off kneecaps because it's hard knock life here on the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that bell for all notifications, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Oh, more exciting, more flashier than that pastor in Brooklyn swindling those congregation members out of over $1 million. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports fellas how you want it.
Wing
We
it, wing it.
need it.
And always remember the Lord giveth and niggas take away. But remember, we're back on the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 352. Speaking of Goofy of the Week, but that was last week. We're back here. Episode 352. What it do? Appreciate you, Flex Zone family, back again after another fantastic weekend. We are here live in the man cave for another episode. As I mentioned, talking Ravens, talking Commanders, talking Brittany Griner, talking the late great Bill Russell, and talking Deshaun Watson, recapping SummerSlam, and so much more. Y'all know who I am, God's favorite host, the host of the Moist. Your boy BKD. Follow us at the Flex Zone One on Twitter and Instagram, and now on TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. And we the ones. Make sure you acknowledge us as we are the head of the sports podcast table. And I got to start things off with my brother, the man who makes the streams look pristine, social media producer. He was down at the bank last week. We'll get his recap later on. Big Raj, how was your weekend, brother? You was all over.
My weekend was pretty good, man. I'm usually all out and about, and I ran into these two goofies on the side of me. They was in their tuxedos, looking like they was about to go rob a bank or something. But I mean, it was a good weekend, though, man. I mean, I enjoyed the bank. I enjoyed seeing Ravens practice. You know what I'm saying? And man, I felt so good yesterday, man. I had to do it again, man. I was on the Stairmaster, brother. I was on there for about 45, 50 minutes, man, getting it in, man. I feel great. I feel great.
This next man, he's always great and he's always calling out the goofiness. And sometimes he needs a little help to hold him up. But he is the commander. Make sure you salute him. Commander Crevonte, the commander lawyer himself, captain of the goofy ship, more bold than that ginger ale. Crevonte, baby. What's up, my brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I don't like these gestures you're using, brother. Where you get this information from, man? But
Social media is a wonderful place. It is full of a lot of stupid, dumb people, but a lot of great things come from it sometimes too.
hey, man, all
Like
right,
this here show.
we hey, absolutely right. We do what we can, right? All right, Monday nights, you already know what it is. Let's get it in. It's so much to talk about. It's so much to talk about, so much to catch up on. We may even go into we let's talk after the show as well.
Queen Mia, I see you. Yes, we appreciate you,
Yes.
Queen Mia. We're gonna let you have your moment.
She was
Save
at
it
the
for
door.
Wednesday,
First
Queen
of
Mia.
all, she was at the door when the show first started. She was at the
That
door.
that is the official
Hey,
first lady of the Flex Zone
she,
podcast. So
she,
respect to
she
the
getting a little,
queen.
she getting a little ahead of herself. You're gonna have your moments, Queen. Not tonight, but you'll have your moments.
Yes, we got you, first lady. But this next man needs no introduction, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's the man of 1,000 nicknames, the head of the table, the big oos, the man that's the straw that stirs the drink, the man more phenomenal than AJ Styles, the A-lister. He's not just the man, he's the best man, the pride of the East Side, savior, misbehavior, the
That's a little
man
That's a
who
good one.
has him ride on Space Mountain better than Ric Flair, because it's not his last match, because he's going for more. Mr. 25-8, the man more pristine than the vaccine, Andre Drizzy J. Melton. Start your day with a cup of Dre, my brother.
Hey, brother, as always, appreciate that wonderful introduction. And fellas,
Shut
there's a
up.
lot to talk about, so let's get to it. What do you mean, shut up?
Shut up. No,
Yes.
but the best man thing hits. The best man thing was appropriate.
Hey man, you want to turn your event out? Graduation, church service, Sunday school, wedding, bachelor party, call up Drizzy Trey. He'll turn up the party and
Man,
he'll get
call
it
the
done.
crew. Listen, man, call the crew. We'll do a live show wherever your party is. Wherever we there, baby.
Let's get to it. Unfortunately, fellas, we got to start with sad news, and we're going to take a quick moment of silence. NBA Hall of Famer, all time great, and most importantly, I think above all else, social justice leader Bill Russell passed away yesterday at the age of 88. We're going to take a quick moment of silence. I'm going to read his accolades and get the panel starts here on the Flex Zone podcast. May he rest in peace. If you're in the chat, drop those prayer hand emojis, those dove emojis for Bill Russell. Let us know how you feel about it. But let's read his accolades real quick and I'll get your thoughts, fellas. 11-time NBA champion, most all time. Two NBA titles added on to that as a player and a coach in 68 and 69, bringing his total to 13. First black head coach in NBA history. NBA Finals MVP trophy named after him starting in 2009. So that's been going on for a while. Two NCAA championships that people don't talk about with University of San Francisco. Two-time first team All-American at USF, University of San Francisco. 1956 Olympic gold medal winner. 2011 President Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama. Five NBA MVP awards, second most all time. 2019 NBA Lifetime Achievement Award. 11 All NBA teams, 12 All Star selections, 1963 All Star Game MVP, 21,620 career rebounds, second all time, 21 and 0 in winner take all games, NCAA tournament, Olympics, and Game 5 or Game 7, 10 and 0 record in Game 7, only player named to the NBA's 25th, 35th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams, and member of the Naismith Memorial College and FIBA as International Hall of Fames. Raj, this list is longer than the list of Jericho. Yeah, man, what do you think about Bill Russell?
Man, where can I start, man? Since the beginning of time, bro, since the beginning of my life cycle, I've known about this man. I've seen this man all through my life.
Because you was
The
at the
most
game.
I was not at the games. D was at the games, but we'll leave that alone. But the most famous picture that we always see is with him, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at that meeting back in the '60s, man. And he was like a true social justice warrior, man. He went through a lot in Boston, because he played for the Boston Celtics. He went through a lot during that time, and he was not very liked when he first came to Boston. But over time, like Jackie Robinson, he won the crowd over. He won the fans over. They loved him in Boston, and he was a beloved figure. He was a great NBA player. He was the first black head coach in the league. He did a lot. He was a trailblazer for real, and a lot of people had really really nice things to say about him yesterday. Um, but with that said, man, he was a super cutthroat player, bro. I mean, to stories that I've heard that he did to Wilt Chamberlain, he would invite him over for dinner. He would butter him up. And then when it came time to whoop his ass on the court, he would use his teammates and he would destroy him almost every single time, man.
Yeah.
He was that cutthroat with it. He always wanted to win. He is the ultimate winner in the NBA. I don't think anybody's going to win 11 championships like he did, man. I don't think nobody's even going to come close to that. As far as a player, but yeah, man, he was an awesome spectacle for real. And I just love to see that everybody respected him, everybody loved him, and the thing that I forgot about, Kobe even gave a great sermon, well not sermon, but a great speech and video at the ESPY Awards a couple years back, and he said he even helped him better his game and be a better person and a better man. So it's just, I mean, it's heartbreaking that he's gone, but he lived a very full life. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He left his mark on the NBA and on the world, and he's definitely going to be missed for real. He's definitely going to be missed.
Crevonte, your thoughts?
Um, one of the greatest basketball players, centers, greatest champion winner of all time in any sport ever. Um, but I think it pales in comparison to what he's done, what he accomplished off the court, and Raj was alluding to it. He was a social justice warrior. Like, you want to talk about early in the game, basketball was very much a white sport. Very much a white sport. And he was able to dominate, like Byron was saying, through college, and able to be drafted by the Boston Celtics and dominate. But gosh, you want to talk about basketball in Boston in the 60s? Woo! 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 And not only was he a black tall brother, he was good. He was dominant. Like it's like what us black people do. When we learn how to do something, we eventually dominate in it. And he was one of the first to showcase that on the court. But for us and the black people, what he did off the court was even bigger. I mean, he got up with a couple other social warriors and really pushed for change. But it started with his game on the basketball court, because you use one tool to sharpen another one. And like I said, his accolades absolutely speak for itself. I mean, the most iconic picture I ever seen, even growing up, was Bill Russell like this with all his rings. I was like,
Or
yo,
this one.
or this one, exactly, or that one. Like, where you get all these rings from? Because by the time I came up, he was an old man already, been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Been a Hall of Famer, been a FIBA, all that. You know what I'm saying? And then I go back and do my own history. I mean, do my own research on the history. 11 championships, 8 of them straight. What? That, like, he was the best on a absolutely stacked Boston team. And I think one thing that we probably don't talk about enough is his unselfishness on the basketball court, because he could have scored with anybody in that time, in that time period. But again, his team was pretty good. He allowed his team to do what they do best, and he did what he does best. Mind you, him and Will Chamberlain, the only guys that average 20 rebounds a game, like average 20 rebounds a game for an entire season. So even with all his God-given abilities, he was able to still be humble, one, put his pride aside, and do what he does best, and he still shined through everything. And again, Boston in the 60s. Boston now is still very much racist. And in the 60s, it was quite worse. And I mean, I couldn't imagine the things that were said to him in the 60s, because I hear the stuff that, that's the absurd things that the crowd says now. And people are actually getting put out nowadays. They was coming back to their next game in the 60s, you know what I'm saying? But, an absolute pioneer, an absolute legend, Boston legend, basketball legend, Hall of Famer in every sense of the word, and he will be greatly missed at 88. And quick story, I was actually talking to my kids at summer camp about Bill Russell, because they was asking about Kobe Bryant, and and I was explaining that Kobe Bryant's last 2 championships, he had the Finals MVP, and the Finals MVP was named after Bill Russell. And of course, they like, who? Like, who was that? All right, time to educate. Bill Russell did this, to this, to this, to this, to this, and he got an award named after him because he was a legend, such a great champion. And I showed him a picture. Oh my God, he's so old. Da, 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 da. Like, man, y'all don't know. Y'all need to do some research on this brother because he pioneered basically what the game is today. You know what I'm saying? And just breaking that down, and I felt good that I was able to enlighten some young minds about an all-time great, and then that might have been like Thursday, and then to hear that he passed on Sunday, I was like, gosh, man, I was just talking about the brother, and now he's gone. So again, we get to talk about him again, which is all well and good. So I mean, yeah, that's it. All-time great. It will absolutely be missed. And of course, last thing, his speeches, I mean, his talks with Kobe Bryant is even more iconic after both of them have passed on. So yeah.
Dre?
One of our great frat brothers in Cap Alpha Psi. I always think about, like Roger was alluding to, the picture of the Cleveland Summit when you had like Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown, who are also Hall of Famers as well, in that iconic picture about Muhammad Ali not entering the draft. Bill Russell, like we said, the activist, the Hall of Famer, the coach, the winner, the man. I mean, they're whenever we do, our greatest, our rankings of top 10 or top 5 NBA players. I mean, Bill Russell's name automatically always reaches the top 5 at least. Um, that's one thing that we can all agree upon is Bill Russell belongs on that Mount Rushmore. We don't care how long ago the game was. We all have respect for what he was able to do with the game of basketball, because 11 championships, I mean, the closest thing we have to 11 championships as a player was Michael Jordan. But I mean, when we talk about people who like set the cornerstone, who are the backbone of the NBA, a lot of the times we talk about Magic and Bird, but I mean, Bill Russell was it, and he helped create that whole dynasty when it comes to the Boston Celtics, and then Crevonte made a great allusion to the era in which he played in, and in the city in which he played in. To do that in Boston, multiple time champion during that era was just hard in of itself, but he was able to persevere and be a winner. And one also thing I think about Bill Russell is, how we talk about like Kevin Durant stopped LeBron James from winning a couple more championships. I mean, if it wasn't for Bill Russell, who knows where Wilt lands in the championship realm. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happens, in sports. You always have that one person who's like, well, what if they weren't here? How many championships could this person have won? So that's another good frat brother of ours, Will Chamberlain. But I mean, it was just you knew that Bill had some illnesses, hence he wasn't here at this past NBA Finals, and you were like hoping that he could just persevere through. It's unfortunate that he was unable to, but I mean, this man lived his life to the fullest. At 88, I mean, what more could you ask for when it comes to this great pioneer of the great sport of basketball? He'll be missed. He's an icon, a legend, and um, I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody puts him like at the epitome, because when you think about the game of basketball, I mean, it starts with Bill Russell, and then it just trickles its way down to the era that we have today. But he definitely is on the Mount Rushmore, because I mean, you can't just sweep 11 championships under the rug. I mean, I don't care what sport
Hey
I
man,
don't care what.
that rug kind of bumpy.
Hey, and then I mean, even in football with Tom Brady at 7, you see like you it's just hard to do that. And then like 8 straight. I mean, come on now, like those are just some unheard of numbers. I don't care what era that is. You just not getting that. So Hats off to him, and he definitely will be missed. It's just, overall, excuse me, when you got that news, it's just like, wow, like, it's a sad day because, like I said, even though he was an older man, I mean, he just walked. He just seemed like he was just good, presenting presenting the trophy. Uh, when he was, I think he was in the Uncle Drew movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like you just like, all right, that's the the Hall of Famer, Bill Russell, and I like, it was just kind of a shocker. I think, like I said, even though he was an older gentleman, you just still kind of like, wow, it's Bill Russell that passed. And we're losing our legends, and that's why we have to cherish them and honor them while they're here. And hats off to the NBA for um, naming their MVP trophy after him, because that's well deserved for what he was able to do and for what he means to the game of basketball. And I'm glad that that they did it sooner than later, as opposed they did it while the man was living, giving him his flowers while he was still here, as opposed to now they would name that trophy after him. I'm glad that he was able to present it to a couple of people throughout the NBA as well.
And just think what he went through. The story when they broke into his house and defecated on his bed, and he won championships. Like Crevonte said, all those championships in a row. First
Did not.
black coach, all he went through, two in a row as a coach. So bringing his total to 13, winning in college. I mean, he'll truly, truly be missed. And just his insight, some of the interviews with Kobe, Kevin Garnett, current players, and just his social activism, he'll truly be missed. Once again, one more moment of silence for Bill Russell as his legacy will continue to live on here on the Flex On podcast. May he rest in peace and his legacy continue to.
Yo, B, one more thing. Shout out to him staying healthy for all that time, because they was playing dirty back in them days, boy. I tell you, and he's responsible for over 60% of Boston's championship.
Yep.
I think that's
There you
pretty.
go. Shout out to Snowman in the building. I see you. And shout out to Miss Queen. Shout out to Brittany. Dre, she's in the building. And everybody else. Lamar,
Appreciate
Big
you.
Oos, I see you. Queen Mia, everybody. Just want to shout you guys out. And make sure if you're just joining us, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and you hit that bell for all notifications. But the big story of today, we finally got the news, finally got the punishment handed down for Deshaun Watson. It's going to be a total of 6 games he will be suspended for by the NFL. It took him only a year plus, it seems like forever. So he will miss. I'll go down the list of games he will miss, barring any appeal, but I think it will stick. And I'll get your thoughts, fellas. He will miss week 1 at Carolina against Baker Mayfield, former Cleveland Browns quarterback. Q's Jets week 2. Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday night, which is on Prime Video this year. And then they go to Atlanta. Chargers. They go to LA, go to New England, and then his first game will be here against the Ravens. So very funny how that worked out. Go ahead, Crevonte. 6 games. What you feel about it? And what do you think that record will be? Putting you on the spot.
Man. They could go. Listen, that's not a bad 6 games to miss, yo. They could go 3-3.
Jacoby Brissett will start, by the way.
Listen, break even. At the least break even, but that schedule is doable because Cleveland's roster is low key, not even low key, it's high key stacked for real. And they got a couple gimmies in that first couple games. I think the Chargers is the only one that I would give a solid L right now, and everybody else, all the other 5 games is very winnable. So that's not a bad 6 games to miss. As far as the 6-game suspension, I think if this thing, now granted, this is not the official because the NFL still has 3 days to appeal. So this is just a suggestion, if you will, from the judge. But 6 games, I think he got off pretty easy because I mean the NFL wanted a year. I thought he was gonna get a year. I thought he was gonna get 17 games. I ain't think we was gonna see him this year. And for it to be 6, I was like, ugh. all right, which makes me think this not going to stick. But so I don't think it's going to stick, and I think the NFL is probably going to feel a way about this. But they only have themselves to blame because when you have nothing set up, and in order for things such as this, you have nothing to point to, even nothing concrete for us to abide by and go to. Y'all literally just make it up as you go, and situations like this come up. These are usually the results of the situations. It's very inconsistent, which is what the NFL has always been as long as I've been watching. Very, very inconsistent. They're inconsistent with everything. I mean, to on the field stuff, rules and stuff, and off the field stuff. Especially when it comes to, sexual misconduct. We got a list of people in higher power, higher status that have been in sexual misconduct, i.e., one of them being my owner. And nothing's happened. In so many words, nothing's happened. So the players usually always get the shorter end of the stick when it comes to things like this. And then, of course, the Ray Rice thing years back. But I thought it was gonna be so much more, and I feel like the NFL is going to try to put their foot down and probably try to make this a little bit lengthier because he also didn't get a fine either. So I think 6 games and no fine. I think he got off scot-free. If you Deshaun Watson camp, you absolutely take this and run with it. But I feel like the NFL is going to try to come back because the NFL is very prideful and they're always going to do what protects the NFL shield. So in that case, I think over the next couple of days, we're going to hear something from the NFL saying either 8 games plus a fine or something. But it's just going to be an appeal party. It's going to be an appeal party. And I'm honestly don't want to be here for it, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it when Goofies of the Week come around.
Rod, you want to go ahead?
6 games is what this brother has gotten. 6 games. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a little controversial. Queen might get at me, but you know what? I don't give a damn. I don't think he should have got any games. I think he should have got none. And let me tell you why he should have got none. Because he was not convicted of anything. Now, if he was convicted of something, then yeah, you could suspend him, you can kick him out, you can do whatever you want with him. But in my opinion, he was not convicted. They couldn't stick nothing with him. They got him. He has a lot of civil cases. Of course, that was going to come because that's the only thing that they really want anyway is the money. But yeah, man. 6 games is 6 games. He got off with it. He should be very happy right now. He should be thankful that he's going to be able to play this season. And the Cleveland Browns is right now. They're like, whoo. Their season is not lost. They're going to have a chance to, try to win this division and the AFC North. And Deshaun Watson dodged a huge bullet for real. He really did. And it should be an extreme wake-up call for real. I mean, you cannot be going around being goofy nowadays. This is 2022. you just cannot do that. I mean, you can't do this. I mean, look what Vince McMahon is going through right now. He's about to have a whole catalog of things about to come out on him, and it's going to probably destroy him before it's all over with. You just can't do this. You got to be more careful. You cannot be fondling nobody. You can't be doing anything sexually with nobody. You gotta be squeaky clean, especially if you're a celebrity and if you have money. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna get you. So hopefully Deshaun Watson learned his lesson. Hopefully we never hear about him doing wrong again in the NFL. Hopefully he stays clean and he stays away from the drama and all this other nonsense that's just going to get him hemmed up again. But yeah, he got away. He got away with murder. He did. He got away with it.
So it's interesting you said that, but so Deshaun Watson doesn't have a regular job.
He doesn't.
Like he does not have a regular job. His job gives him celebrity status, right?
Yes.
Because it was so overwhelming the things that kept coming out, I feel like this was an attempt. Well, not an attempt. They were doing it. It wasn't even an attempt. This happened. I feel like it was a cover up. I feel like Houston knew about it, and this had been a thing. And when he basically tried to renege on his contract, I feel like Houston let the dogs out.
I think so.
No pun intended. But yeah, I felt like it was a thing. And when you are a quarterback of all positions, you kind of hold the NFL on your sleeve. And it's tough to, like, even when if you're not convicted or anything, if it's overwhelming evidence, because look, public perception is, it's everything. It's like, you're not convicted enough, like, yo, you did something. And you made us look bad. More importantly, you know how the NFL is, you made us look bad, we gotta get you. Even though he wasn't convicted, but then again, civil court and criminal court as two different
things
and two different burdens of proof. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to,
let me take that a step even further, Crevonte. I think that he wasn't the only one, and I think that he ended up taking the fall for something that has been going on. I think that honestly, when he said after a year of frustration, which, look, at the end of the day, I blame him for the snowfall effect, because he signed the contract and then a year later said he wanted out, and there were consequences that I don't think he even realized that were about to happen.
Of course not. There's no way. If he could redo this shit, he would not do it.
Nope.
So I think that because we've been saying that his old coach Bill O'Brien had to go, and a year after he signed his contract, that's when all these accusations just magically come out of nowhere. It's like, come on, man, like we something's up here. We all figured something was really up with this. People are forgetting also Robert Kraft got caught up on the same stuff, except it just got swept under the rug with his situation. Excuse me. But again, the NFL just looks bad in all of this.
Like they always do.
Yes, Miss Harris, that they just, yes, the NFL dropped the ball, but I mean, then again, are we really surprised? I mean, I could go down the history of what the NFL has done, but I'll just give you a few examples. Ray Rice got 4 games originally for what happened with the incident with his now wife, and this is a man who was honest about everything that happened, him and his wife. Told the Baltimore Ravens organization. They told the NFL exactly what happened and the possibility of a video leaking everything out. Yet they still decided to have 4 games, and then upon the video being released from TMZ, decide to cut Ray Rice and never have Ray Rice come back to the NFL, which then Ray Rice had to sue the NFL in order to get his money, because you can't do double jeopardy.
And that video came out, I want to say months later.
Yep, it came out like a week before the season started, I believe.
Yeah, it came out, I want to say,
but
about...
he said something in like April, February, some early in the year.
When the video first came out, Ray Rice was transparent and honest with the NFL. He did not lie. I can at least give that brother that much. He did not lie whatsoever to the NFL. He was very cooperative with them. And then, like I said, the NFL only gave him 4 games, and then people were in uproar about what happened, and yet then he got cut. In the cases of Ben Roethlisberger, who had multiple incidences, and he only had 4 games, and that situation was, again, swept under the rug. You have Josh Gordon, who has had countless incidences with drug abuse, and he's been suspended not only multiple times, but he's missed seasons.
Yep.
So over 25
games. 2 seasons or a season and a half.
Calvin Ridley, we're not promoting gambling, but I mean, there's a precedent set for
Dre,
gambling,
they are. They
and
got it in the stadiums.
so
It's legal
no.
everywhere now.
I mean, I'm sorry. There's not a precedent set
I know what you mean. I'm messing with you,
for
bro.
Players to gamble.
these type of accusations, but they have something that they
I'm
have
just
something in
saying.
motion for. They have something in motion for gambling and set him up so that way he misses a whole year. Yet Deshaun Watson, in this case, they randomly were just like, you know what? Let's just give him 6 games. I mean, it's honestly disgusting what the NFL has, and you would think that they've learned their lessons as far as the multiple times that people have been abusers or done or had rape cases, and yet these things are still not on the NFL books. The NFL, I give them credit that they were trying to finally have a third party within this situation because normally Roger Goodell makes these type of rulings, but with the CBA, they decided to have a third party ruling come into this situation, and the third party was the one who ruled that he should have the 6 games. Like Crevonte said, the NFL has 3 days to repeal this, and they can add additional games if they want to before they come to an agreement as to a final suspending. But I just don't see him getting more than 8 games. Roger, I think that though he did settle out of court, you do have incidences where people have not been acquitted of anything and they still got suspended, such as um, Ezekiel Elliott. Tom Brady got suspended for deflated footballs. I mean, people
And
they're suspending
yeah,
people
yeah.
for the silliest things. DeAndre Hopkins has what, a 6 game suspension. So I mean, there are
You
countless
made
people.
us look bad.
So you're right.
That's what it is. You made us look bad, so we
So
got to give you something.
so that's I think it just comes down um to to what you said. He made the NFL look bad and expose something. However, at the end of the day, he ended up being the fall guy. And I think that when it comes to women, as far as them being they're a big part of the NFL fan base. If I'm not mistaken, the numbers are either tilted towards them or tilted slightly just under 50%. I want to say they're
It's
about
definitely
40%
over
of the
40%.
NFL.
They're definitely over 40%.
So they're about. So I mean, for them to continuously drop the ball when it comes to these type of incidences, it's just not a good look overall for the NFL. Yes, Deshaun Watson was able to settle a lot of this stuff out of court, but Crevonte, I never thought he was going to get a full season. I thought that he would get maybe half the season, like 8 games most, just because. And the only reason I said that is because he already missed a year, and I think that factored into this ruling. I think that they were all like, okay, he's already missed a year. He's going to miss more additional time, so let's just give him 6 games. But honestly, if he was I mean, everybody forgets too the underlining of all this. His $230 million contract does not really kick in until next season. So this season he can take an L because he's only going to miss about $1 million before that. It just propels after this. He has a $230 million fully guaranteed contract. If the NFL was to really do something, the Cleveland Browns could have avoided this contract, but yet they didn't, and he will get those $230 million over the next 5 years. But this year he's only going to miss, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to miss a total of $333,000.
So
So far,
far.
as of right now, he's only missing that much, which is just a quarter of, I'm sorry, a third of his contract this season. But next year, everybody, that's the underlying thing. He will get his money next year. So I think that that's something that we have to really look into. Like, how in the world did this man go from the Houston Texans to the Cleveland Browns and become the first player with a fully guaranteed contract and become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Is just
At
absurd.
the same time, because
Hey.
Kirk Cousins did a thing too. But at the same time, fully guaranteed and the highest at the same time.
As they would say, only in America. Only in America
I tell you,
can you do that. But you
Hey,
know.
Raj, real quick, let the people. We got 13 people in here, Raj. Let them know what to do, brother.
Oh, yeah. And man, if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying our topics, please hit that subscribe
Mia,
button.
come on in, Queen Mia. We gotta get a woman's perspective. We gotta get you in here. Come on, you got 5 minutes. But go ahead, Raj. Sorry about that.
No, yeah, I'm about to say, come on and join the
You
congregation.
welcome. You welcome.
Hold up. Okay, well, I'm a. Oh, all right. Well, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're liking the content, if you're enjoying the content, if you're liking our videos, hit the subscribe. I mean, we got more coming, and then we gotta get Queen Mia's perspective real quick. I know she got a lot to say about Deshaun Watson, so I'm gonna let her in a minute.
We're fair here on the flex zone. We let the women speak as well. We got to get her perspective. And Crevonte, she is a fellow Commanders
send
fan,
the
by the
link.
way. She's a fellow Commanders fan. She's a fellow Commanders fan, by the way. Yes, Queen Mia. So we got to get the Queen in. But while we're waiting for her, Raj, I want to get your thoughts while you're doing your thing. Matter of fact, Crevonte, I'm gonna start with you. Crevonte.
Yeah.
But while we wait for Queen Mia, speaking of the Commanders, you are the Commander Lawyer, the Commander Crevonte himself. I'm gonna salute you solo right now. Training camp just started. We got word Chase Young ruled out for week 1. Your thoughts on it? What have you seen? What have you heard? What do you like? What do you don't like? And thoughts on the Chase Young situation?
What I've heard. Okay, so obviously the biggest thing of the offseason was signing Terry McLaurin, one of our cornerstones in our franchise. He's been contributing since day one, and he's been very consistent in a lackluster, to put it bluntly, lackluster wide receiving core. Consistently getting 1,000 yards, and the second person getting 300-400, and then not even being a wide receiver. I think it speaks volume to his production that he gives to his organization, and he gives it his all every game. And he found a way to get open somehow, some way. And mind you, his quarterbacks have not been the best either. So we got a guy who's going to stretch the field. So Terry McLaurin is I'm going to see some. I think I'm going to see. I expect some big things from Terry McLaurin. I also like the production and the things I'm seeing from Jahad Dotson. He's looking like the real deal in camp, and he's looking like he's already penciled in at number 2 receiver. That means he's going to be on the second corner. So he's going to get a lot of opportunities this year to get some production. He may take a couple passes from Terry, but I mean, at this point, we don't care. Just move the football. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's been making some plays and making some highlights and turning some heads in camp. Now switching to the defense, Chase Young, I think he's going to miss more than a game. He might miss I'm thinking he may miss about 3, maybe 4 games at the most. But whenever he comes back, as long as he's ready to go and he's mentally there, I can't wait. It'll only make the defense, better in my opinion. Carson Wentz, haven't heard nothing crazy. Made a couple nice throws, a couple 50-yard bombs to Dotson, 65-yard bomb to Terry McLaurin. It's a good sign of things to come, hopefully. That's about it. I think everybody's tired of the Daniel Snyder stuff at this point. He finally said he was going to, and I tell you, only billionaires can do this. He can finally show up, but he said he's going to show up virtually to testify or whatever. I'm like, see what money do? But yeah, so that's going to happen. So we're waiting to see what happens after that. But my gosh, got to get this brother up out of here if we really want to turn this organization around.
And loving you in the comments. All hail Commander Crevonte, says Miss Queen. Mark says Wynn's about to turn it around. But we got to bring in the First Lady of the Flex Zone podcast. We got to get Queen Mia's thoughts on the Deshaun Watson situation and hear her perspective. She wanted 5 minutes, so we're going to give her 5 minutes. Welcome in, Queen Mia, everybody.
Greetings. Greetings.
Look at her.
Queen, everybody. Hello.
What's up, Queen?
Go ahead with her Charmel.
I have to. Have the Queen makes her entrance.
How you feeling about the Deshaun Watson situation, Queen Mia? Because you were adamant in the comments.
I feel like I've pretty much said most of it. I think outside of just being overall like disgusted with him still being employed. It's a whole mess. I think I was angry with with all of that, but then I was also like, Calvin Ridley was done for an entire year.
Yeah.
For $1,500 for a bet. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't hurt not a soul. And it was his money. It wasn't like he took some money from somebody else. It was his money that he made that bet with. And he was out for an entire year. This man was out here assaulting people and he gets 6 games? 6 games? For assaulting women, you get 6 games. And it wasn't like he did it once or he was drunk or he was on drugs. No. On a consistent basis, this man was in here assaulting women like it was Tuesday. It's like it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time to go and, fondle some bitches. Like, never in a million years would I be sitting here thinking like, oh, like 6 games. Like that's what they're going to give him. No. And the fact that his team, not only they paid out a huge settlement, so they have yet to reveal any of the settlement prices, because they said they're confidential, which is fine. But one of the insiders from the team said they settled for 7 figures for the one girl that sued the team, because all the women that came forward, they did not sue the team. Most of them sued. They were suing him like personally. They did not sue the team, but there was one woman, and that one woman that sued the team, she got 7 figures.
We like insiders. We love insiders.
Listen, I love me a good insider, and I was following this closely because I wanted to know, in light of everything following the entire Me Too movement, things were considered a lot, like people were getting sentences that they deserved. Court sentencing became a little bit more strict. And then as far as people, like employees in other organizations all around, especially in corporate America, things were turning out the way that they were supposed to. People were losing their jobs. People were paying huge settlements and losing their jobs. People were, paying for their actions. So I was following this closely because I really wanted to see. In my head, like I was really thinking, like, Calvin Ridley, all right, he got a year for gambling. There's no way Deshaun's going to stay employed. So the fact that he is still employed is just that I was just like, damn. And I know for a fact that Calvin has to be like pissed off, because he'll a year for gambling that didn't have any effect on anybody else except him, and he got 6 games. As a woman, I don't want to work in this establishment, because in no way, shape, or form am I protected. That's how that would make me feel as a woman, working in these places. It's already, a hard thing trying to get, in there. That's already challenging. So getting in there and maintaining, your career and your livelihood, just to like get assaulted and not really have the person that assaulted you face any consequences whatsoever, it gives me no confidence. It doesn't make me want to work there. It doesn't make me want to support the games. It doesn't make it, like, as a fan, it's just like, damn, like, I'm glad it's not my team, but horrified and upset for those women that had to, go through whatever they went through, and to just be like, he still get to walk around and have his contracts, have his sponsorships. He out here still playing. He's still going to get to walk out on that field and do what he loves. Yet they're sitting there assaulted, traumatized. They got money, but that's not going to, negate anything that they've been through. especially because they didn't actually take it to, court. Like, they didn't take it to criminal court. And I can't, speak for them specifically because, I've never been in their situation, but I'm pretty sure they got some hefty settlements, and that's wonderful and everything. That's great. Happy for them because they got those settlements, but it's still like, it's very upsetting that you literally were out here just doing what you please, and you're going to still go out there and play. There's no remorse. You don't have any type of like I don't even have any words to describe what it is that I'm trying to say right now, because I can't. I was really, really thinking that they were going to fire him. But it is what it is. Hopefully that the NFL will do more and just take the whole season and eventually terminate his contract. I know that's shooting very, very, very high, but I really think that's the only acceptable thing that can happen. But at the same time, when I think back to when Ben Roethlisberger was going through this, not only did he not get 6 games, but he was out there still playing, like it was nobody's business, So it's just like, if Big Ben gets to stay employed, why can't Deshaun get to stay employed? That's how I, like, on one hand, like, if I'm looking at it just from like an outsider, then it's like, why shouldn't he still be able to be employed? Ben Roethlisberger got to do it. But then at the same time, I'm just like, neither one of y'all deserve to be employed. Neither one of y'all. Y'all should have been canned the minute the team was even thinking about settling with these women, because the only reason why you settle is because the damage and that there's truth. Because if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that none of this happened, then there would be no settle. Then it would be like, yeah, take us to court so we can demolish you, because we have the money. Take us to court because you don't have what we have. These pockets are endless over here. Take us to court. But there's truth, and the harm that this is going to cause, not just to him as an individual, but to the team overall. All the newcomers coming in, they're not going to be thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go and I want to be with them. They're not going to think about that, because now everybody's going to know this is what they do to sexual predators. Not only do they employ them, but then they keep it going. They let them do what they want to do. And smart people, especially the ones with the good agents, they're going to be like, yeah, that's not good for you. That's not going to be a good image. Because then you're always going to be associated with a team that is, acceptable, with sexual assault. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. But just disappointed, very disappointed.
Sounds about normal with the
Well,
NFL. Disappointment after disappointment.
After
Can't get
disappointment,
nothing right.
Well,
Can't get nothing right.
yeah, I mean, I found it when everything was coming out. I'll admit it was very strange that he would DM these women and end up getting these like happy endings. But it was just like, why are you have all this money, you're the star quarterback, and you're DMing women over massages. Like I said, he put himself in this hole. I admit that. And but as far as the settlements, though, I mean, just because they settled, because sometimes people will settle in court not having done anything. Sometimes just so that way it just can get swept under the rug. But I think that the multiple number of cases, had this just been a couple, I think people might have been more lenient towards him. But he had originally 25 cases. One of the cases just dropped off, so then it became 24, and he just settled. He settled for 20 of the 24, and just recently got that 3 out of the 4 recently. So that all happened before the suspension got got produced. But I mean, you talked about like if they had went to court. I don't know like if they had went to court, because I mean his pockets are a little longer than some of these women that accused him, and I hate to bring this person up because they in some of sexual assault charges too. But Vince McMahon said, look, when it comes to rich people, before he said it on one episode, I think it was on SmackDown. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he did say it on an episode of SmackDown to Kevin Owens. He said, and he was saying it. He said, "You can take me to court, but he said, you know, I'm gonna like eventually beat you, because when rich people, when that's the one thing about taking them to court, they'll drag it out until you get drained, and you're not gonna want to fight the case no more." So I think that they just tried to do that before it just got real ugly. I do agree that when you have somebody of this magnitude who's like having several sexual assault accusations against them, the suspension should be there. But I never thought the NFL was going to void his contract. There was just too much money on the line at this point. So I think, and with the NFL has a history of not doing anything. So I figured he was not going to get suspended for a whole year, nor that his contract was going to be terminated.
And I'll say this real quick: is Deshaun Watson a creep? Yes, he's an extreme creep. Was he guilty? According to the court, he was not guilty of anything.
Well, we don't know because there was never actually anything that was done.
I mean,
we didn't.
He
was not. Right. He was not taken to that. He was not taken to through that process. They didn't go through that process. So what is he guilty because he was not proven guilty by that standard? He's not guilty, but he didn't go through the process of being guilty. So that's not a question that we can really ask or answer. Because he wasn't there.
I also want to reiterate, civil court and criminal court are very, very different, which I did not understand. Even I had to go back and read and go through the OJ case, because the burden of proof is on two different sides. The process on a criminal court, it's the prosecution. It's up to y'all got to prove that this person did it.
Yeah.
It's flipped in civil. Like, you got to prove that you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Which is usually why in civil court people typically just settle, because it's like, I'm not trying to go through the headache. There's no jail time. It's like, yo, here, just take the money. I just don't want to go to jail. That's usually what it comes down to. That's what it's like, yo, how OJ beat the criminal case but lose the civil case. So that I just want that to be clear. Like, the two said that the burden of proof is on the opposite sides when we're dealing with it. So usually when they settle, they probably did it. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about celebrities and people with money, usually that means they did it. I'm not saying he of everything, but he did something. And all in all,
I'm gonna say he did something. Whether we know 100%,
I'm sure, but he did something. Maybe it wasn't to all of them, but he did something. And again, at the end of the day, you made the NFL look bad.
On that power line, he did that. He did that.
I'll just say,
he did that.
Like you said, though, but power is like they said that in power before. They said it's not about right or wrong. It's honestly about what you can prove in court. You can prove. And honestly, if it went to court, we can't honestly even sometimes trust the judicial process because of how long it takes for court cases to happen, and then for retrials. And then also, we also have a history because, like you said, OJ beat a murder charge, but then turns around and he gets jail time for stealing back his memorabilia,
his own stuff.
We're still honestly, we're trying to get an arrest warrant for the woman who had Emmett Till killed. So at the end of the day, it's still a questionable process about whether or not it would have went to court, because let's say it went to court and then he doesn't get anything. So I mean, the NFL, regardless, was going to suspend him because the NFL has had a history of people, whether or not they've done it or not done it, and even with proof, the NFL still will give you, the NFL will still suspend you because you've done damage to the shield. So that's what it, like Crevonte's been saying. He said it's all about, if you bring a bad name to our brand, our shield, something has to be done to you. Whether or not we agree with the 6 games, and we'll see if he gets more than 6 games, because it's a very high possibility he could. But it's just kind of a wait and see at this point in time. But 6 games really is egregious. But then again, I don't think that no matter what I mean, nobody was ever going to be totally happy, because yes, Deshaun may have gotten 6 games right now, and he's not happy about it because he feels like in his mind he didn't do anything. The Cleveland Browns are going to feel like, wow, it's just 6 games. Okay, we can settle for just six
We'll
games.
work with this.
So I mean, everybody is just at some point feeling something. Had he got a whole year, he may have tried to repeal. We don't know at this point. Right now, at the 6 games, I don't think he's going to repeal anything. But I think if it gets more than 8 games, I could see him trying to fight it. And it was crazy also about it is the NFLPA may also come in on this as well and try to back him, because he is a player. So the Players Association may back him and say that, hey, originally you gave him 6 games, and now you said you extended it to a year, and try to come to some medium so that way he can play this season and still get some type of compensation.
But that's the entire problem, is that they didn't hand down anything. This was an outside, judge that they were kind of like, they can take what she say, but they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the NFL put themselves in this mess because they have nothing in place for situations like this. And
nor do they want to, right?
And it's like you already know,
given
the track record of multiple players, coaches, staff members, given all of their track records, you should have something in place for when things like this come about, because they're bound to happen. Based off of the history in general, they're bound to happen. You should have something in place. The fact that you don't have nothing in place to implement is where they truly, messed up.
But you know why? Why they don't have anything.
Let me tell them why. The reason why they don't care is because all they care about is the freaking money. That's all this is. That's all they care about is the money. They're global now. They're expanding to new horizons, to new cities, to new countries. They're all over the place right now. So all they care about is the grain. They don't care if you kill somebody. They don't care if you touch somebody. They don't care if you put your hands on somebody. They don't give a damn about none of that. As long as you bringing in some dough and you got the eyes on the product, that's all they care about. And that's
we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there because we could talk about it all night. But Queen Mia, we definitely wanted to get your thoughts. Let people know how to follow you and where they can catch you.
Appreciate you coming up.
Of course. I'll see you.
Let people know how to follow you and where you'll be next.
You can definitely catch me here at the Flex Zone this coming Wednesday, actually, for Dynamite. Okay, 8 p.m. I'll be here as usual.
Love the plug. Always start with the brand. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Did you want her to stay for SummerSlam?
I can come back. I'm actually gonna go. I can come back if I need to.
We'll talk about it Wednesday because we want to get you, Dre, because we were here live. So we'll get your thoughts. Yeah.
Definitely, we can talk about everything on Wednesday.
Yes, Queen Mia will be here Wednesday, so check in with her. Appreciate you, Queen Mia, as always.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
The Queen is leaving.
Let her wave. Yes.
But yes,
get her signed up to run for mayor or something.
Oh boy, get your boy out of there, goofball. But anyway, Raj, you were down at the stadium at M&T Bank on Wednesday. Last weekend, last Saturday, same day as SummerSlam. Your thoughts? We got a commander's report from Commander Crevonte. You were there live in the living color. What did you think, and what did you like or didn't like?
All right, what did I like about the practice? The practice was pretty good. I thought it was dope. I enjoyed seeing Lamar, and I enjoyed seeing The way he threw the football, he threw it with such velocity, such accuracy. He came out there and pretty much didn't play around with nobody. He pretty much was there for business. He was one of the first people that was out there on the practice field, which was kind of surprising to me. I saw a lot out of Rashad Bateman. He didn't drop a ball, got open a lot, looked really good, looked pretty fast, and did his thing. Devin Duvernay looked okay. Um, I didn't see him that much though, but from what I did see, he caught a couple balls that looked pretty good. And also James Prochet, he never drops the ball in practice, so he's all his route running has gotten a lot better though. I can tell you that for sure. His route running looked really good. He made a couple people stumble down the stretch. But the guy that I looked at the most in training camp had to be Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely looked really good. I mean, really good. Like he was catching a lot of tough balls that was thrown to him. And I thought he did an excellent job to showcase himself because the other rookie, Charlie, the Kozar is his name. Coley. Well, he's hurt right now, but Isaiah Likely looked like he's gonna be something special for real. So I enjoyed seeing that brother go out there and play. The things I didn't like our other rookie Kyle Hamilton. It just looked like he needs a lot of work. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player or he's going to be trash or anything like that, but he just looked a step behind all the plays for real. Like he was getting beat left and right from everybody. And I think he was one of the. I think when Lamar threw that 60-yard bomb, it was him that was on Rashad Bateman, and he just caught it over him. So, I mean, he's going have some growing pains in the NFL, but I think he's going to be a quick learner. So it's just fresh for him right now. So that was one. Marlon Humphrey looked okay. He looked pretty good. He looked like he's back to his normal self, batting down balls and punching the ball out of people's hands. He guarded Rashad Bateman a couple times too, and he made sure this time he didn't get burned. So I appreciate that. Mark has a question. Mark says, "Who that was your number one?" Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kyle Hamilton was our number one, but it's going to take
Hey,
some time.
Mark, talk to me in January. We'll see. We'll see. It's practice, bro. Most of these guys that's catching all these passes in practice, I don't have any faith in. But Kyle Hamilton, I have faith.
No. Trust me. You'll
Only
have faith.
Bateman. Only Bateman and the tight ends. Only Bateman and the tight ends.
Okay,
That's
all
it.
right.
That's
Okay.
it. Me, personally. I have faith in Kyle Hamilton over the receivers. I have faith in Bateman and Kyle Hamilton.
Isaiah Likely is going to be a problem. All right. He's going to be something to watch. And I think Lamar is getting him involved really early right now because he's going to need him down the stretch. So he is going to be a weapon on his team. Mark my words. He will get the ball a lot. I don't know about the Charlie dude. I mean, he might come in there. He might play well if he's not, hurt or whatever. But I don't think he has Likely speed. Likely can move, man. He's very fast.
Like a wide receiver. He's like a receiver.
You might as well put him at wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree. But Greg Roman's the offensive coordinator, so you know what that means? He won't.
Yeah, he won't. But that's another problem right there is Greg Roman.
Got weapons, but can he use them? That's the question.
His commentary about this is the best he ever seen Lamar throw the football is asinine. But it is what it is. It's Greg Roman. This is what he says at times. He's really goofy. But I mean, he's not a terrible offensive coordinator. He's an okay offensive coordinator. But we'll see what happens, man. The Ravens offense looked halfway decent on Saturday. They didn't look too bad. Lamar looked a lot better. He said he went from 208 to 230. So he put on some pounds, put on some muscle. He says he's ready to take the hits. He's ready for whatever happens. And he says, it's a cutoff time before he says screw up with the contract. But he's ready to rock, man. He's ready to roll. So for all, I enjoyed practice. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I enjoyed the stadium. The stadium was rocking. The only thing I wish was this. I wish the crowd would be like, sign Lamar, sign Lamar, sign Lamar.
And they would kick all y'all asses out.
Something to that effect.
The door.
I mean, even look, Bashadi was there too, so that would have been perfect. He was right there on the field with him. So
I bet he was.
It is what it is, man. I enjoyed what I saw. From what I saw, the wide receivers looked okay. That's my
Yo,
take
Uh,
on
so
practice.
let me ask you then, Uncle Roger. Did how did Lamar Jackson's accuracy look? Because we talk about him being bigger. We talk about the receiver issue, but they've said that in the past. One of the things now that people pinpoint is the accuracy. So how did he look as far as accuracy throwing the football?
Bro, he looked beautiful, man. I'm telling you, he was throwing bombs out there. He threw that bomb you can look it on YouTube. The bomb he threw to Rashad Bateman. He just flicked it to him. And it was
hey, we
like
should have put
between
that on the
two
channel. That would have
defenders.
been a nice video.
It was between two defenders, and he just straight caught it. Boom. In the breadbasket, man. It was
So
awesome.
it wasn't one of those like Mark
No.
Andrews type of. It was a
It
beautiful
was
ball
it was
placed
a,
right where it's supposed to be.
it was a whoa. It was one of them, man. He just tossed it to him, and he just straight caught it. And he was doing that damn near all day on Saturday. Like it was no problem. He looked really comfortable. He looked good in the offense. He was hitting people wide open, and he just looked like he's ready, man. I'm telling you, this man is going to have an amazing season. If he has to carry the whole damn team on his shoulders by himself, he's going to find a way to do it this time. And this time he's going to be
He has
ready.
bigger shoulders.
He's going to be able to take the pounding this time, and be able to to go through the full 17 games. So I believe Lamar Jackson is the man on this squad. I believe he deserves to be paid. I mean, from what I see, the eye test tells me a lot. All I needed to see right now, because when he said he was, when he didn't go to mini camp and he said he was out there working by himself, the results are showing. They are definitely showing more so than any other training camp that I've seen so far with him in. He looks the part.
Good.
Well, good to know. Dre, real quick, let's hit some of these biting kneecaps. You'll be watching Hard Knocks with the Detroit Lions. You like that? Good young team, man. I like what they did in the
Yeah.
draft. Good young coach.
Um, I think that we laughed about the whole biting kneecaps and type of Viking Raider barbaric thing that their head coach is trying to do over there. But I understand setting the culture over there, and what something that me and you both agreed upon, Byron, was that this team fought last year. Granted, they didn't win that many games, but they were in a lot of those football games. I mean, and we all remember that Ravens game when they pushed the Ravens to the limit, and the Ravens had to end up coming back thanks to JT and Action Jackson for help for carrying this team to victory. But I mean, the Detroit Lions. I'm looking forward to seeing. This is normally Hard Knocks. I'm not like really pressed to see it, but this is me. Just based off last season, what the Detroit Lions were able to do. Um, I'm curious about what they're able to do this year. I don't still see them being sold on golf, but I think overall, I think the team will be a lot better than what they were last year. I don't see them as a playoff team quite yet, but what I love, like I said, is that this team was competitive and they played hard for their head coach. I think that they love their head coach and that they're heading in the right direction. And eventually, I think that they'll get back to being under a football team. I mean, I'm sorry, under a playoff team.
Bold prediction. The Detroit Lions will not finish last in that division. Sorry, Crevonte, your boy Justin Fields will. Poor Justin Fields. I'm going to say that every week.
He's right.
Oh gosh, on Saturday, what was it Saturday? I was watching ESPN and they was going through their different training camps and doing coverage and stuff.
Oh, it's okay.
They started and they started doing they went to Chicago and I said, Jesus Christ. It feels like it's gonna hurt while watching them play. But I like that bold prediction. I was actually thinking about that. I was gonna actually say that for our bold prediction. I'll change it now. I'll change it to something else.
Well,
But
you can say it. It might not be much. It might be like a game, but they won't be last.
that's it. That's all. They won't be last. I can't give you a win total, but I think they'll be better than the Bears.
Rod, you watching?
I can't wait till we make these.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I probably won't watch it.
It's okay.
But I am rooting for the Lions this year. I think it'll be a really good team. I really think they're gonna have an improvement. I think they probably win at least 7 games, maybe 8.
Oh yeah, that's more. Oh yeah, because the Bears getting about 5.
Yeah, so I think it's
poor Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good year for Detroit fans. They're going to have something to watch. Very competitive, just like they was last year. But even they're going to win more this year.
Hey man, I agree. Their offense low key got some weapons over there, man. I'm not, again, like I said before, I'm not the biggest Jared Goff fan. I think he's very average, if you ask me. But he has some really good weapons around him. And that offensive line is not bad either. Defense, we don't know, but they were very competitive last year, like we all said. And I think they will take the next step under Dan Campbell. And consistency would help as well. Let Dan Campbell stay there. Y'all in Detroit, y'all ain't got no expectations.
Right.
God damn it.
God damn it.
You know what? Next week that may have to be a question. Who do you feel more sorry for, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? Because
I don't feel sorry for Trevor Lawrence.
Justin Fields by far. Justin Fields by far.
It's Fields. Because Trevor Lawrence plays in Jacksonville again.
And he actually has
expectations
some
aren't
weapons.
crazy.
He actually got some weapons though.
And expectations aren't crazy. He in Duval. Like, come on, y'all. They ain't tripping down there. Chicago is a cornerstone in the NFL. Justin Fields is who I feel sorry for.
Isn't they a top 10 NFL franchise? Because they did the top 10 NFL franchises.
Absolutely. They was here in the beginning with the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
They was here in the beginning.
I mean, as far as money wise.
Yeah, they still,
I'm sure.
It's Chicago. The crazy thing though, when we talk about Chicago, before we move on though, is that they're about to get rid of Soldier Field for a new field where it's like that's such a historic field, like Lambeau. Like why?
Well,
why?
Larry Lightweight. I'm sorry, Larry Lightweight. Larry Lightfoot. Not Larry Lightfoot. The Lightfoot lady, whatever the hell her name is with the goofy afro, is put money into the Chicago Bears Stadium, so they're going to have something to look forward to.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still some fields.
But not the crime. Okay.
But not the
Sounds
crime.
like another mayor.
She'll dress up as a Ninja Turtle again before she does anything.
And it's Lori. You talking about Lori Lightfoot?
Sounds like another
Lori
mayor.
Lightfoot, Lori Lightweight, whatever you want to call it.
Look, sounds like another mayor. Sounds like another mayor we know.
Yes.
Not putting money in the crime.
We're not gonna say that, Merrick, because if he comes back, we need him to come back. We're gonna leave him alone.
Hey man,
all right,
the numbers are the numbers. I'm just saying.
we love him, by the way.
But if he wants to come on here and help his numbers, Flex Zone Podcast, only place to push your political agenda. Because don't forget, we're also #1 in the community as well. But we got a Brittany Griner update. Dre, she's going to be going back to court. They're talking about a possible trade for a Russian arms dealer. Trump says he sides with Russia. People saying they should send Trump over there. Is she coming home?
At first it was looking bleak, but now it seems like it's finally a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I think that hopefully with the next, I'm not going to say week or next couple of weeks, but I think within the coming months, I think eventually she does come home, which should have happened a long time ago. I don't know what's taking so long for this to happen, but finally it seems like we're getting some light to send and Brittany Griner home. So continue to get prayers up and to continue to fight for her, because she belongs home, and she's belonged home for a long time, and hopefully this will be a learning lesson for others as far as things happening in traveling in other countries, and then also what you bring over there as well. Because she's not totally exempt. I know we want Brittany Griner home, but at the end of the day, she did. She kind of caused it. She caused it on herself as well. So we can't sit up here and totally get all up in arms because she's been detained. Let's not act like she's totally innocent, but we do want Brittany Griner home.
I'll just say this, and I'll leave it alone. President Trump was still in office, she would not be going through this right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. She would not be going through this. I do hope that she comes home very soon, though, because, yes, she did cause it, and she did. I guess she did hold herself accountable because she had confessed to it. So hopefully they can make the swap or whatever, do what you got to do, get her back.
Swap? What are we talking about?
Make the swap with the inmates.
They're basically making a trade, Crevonte.
Making a trade, man. Like the NBA and the NFL.
So this is a game. This is a game.
Pretty much.
It's sad, but it is.
Get her home, man.
Yo,
You know,
and that's another thing. Yeah, us Americans are very arrogant and very privileged because
Mark.
Hey yo,
Mark, we're not going. We're not doing that, man. We're not going to do this, bro.
Yo, Mark.
We are not going to do this, man. Calm it down, bro. Come on, brother, calm it down. What you disagree? What you did disagree
yeah,
about?
what do you disagree with?
she posted that before that. Yeah, she posted. I disagree before that, so she probably disagrees with that too, though. But I'm just saying. I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it!
I'm wondering. I'm wondering what you disagree with.
Go to bed. Yeah,
Mark.
don't go to bed. Yeah.
Oh, don't go to bed just yet. Keep watching the show. Then go to bed.
Yes, please.
So Americans do have to realize that we are not the way of the world, even though we try to be. There's not many countries out there that go with the democracy, even though our democracy is in quotation marks as well. Russia's a whole different world over there, and they do not operate like us. There's not much. Their justice system is nothing like ours. So you mess up over there, they'll put you in jail before they actually get around to sentencing you for real. And there's no time limit like how us it's like, oh, they can only hold you for so long. Nah, it's a little different over there. So I think that's another thing that we have to realize. Even though it seems unfair and almost malicious, that's how things are in Russia. It's Russia.
Oh man, any other thoughts before we move on? Everybody in the
Well,
comments
let me answer her
Another
question.
Russia.
Let me answer her statement real quick. President Trump and Vladimir Putin were cool. I don't think Vladimir would have kept her, man. I think Vladimir would have made that trade easily because they were cool with. He was cool with the Donald, man. There was no problems with the Donald and Vladimir at the time.
Entitled was the other word I was looking for. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I agree.
And now, with Biden and Putin being on the opposite sides, of course, Putin's going to be petty and keep Brittany. Of course, he's going to do that. Why wouldn't he? He wants something.
He said, listen, you got y'all president read all the words. I ain't doing nothing with y'all.
Exactly.
Raj, let the people know what to do, man. They in here still. Thank you for rocking with us tonight, episode 352.
Hey, man, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and hit the like button, and tell a friend to tell another friend. We do this all the time, and we have plenty of videos, Ravens content, Orioles content, and a bunch of other things.
Drake, I get your thoughts on SummerSlam, my good brother, and Raj. Anything if you want to add to about Raw, anything like that?
So about SummerSlam, I thought that Logan Paul, he did really good with his match. I did hate the ending to be kind of embarrassing to the Miz that he lost to his own finishing maneuver. I thought that was a little whack, but it is what it is. I thought the Usos and the Street Profits had a really good match. But the Usos were going to win in the end. I just thought that the ending maybe could have been a little better. Maybe that the Street Profits may have then turned heel, or somebody did something to kind of cost them the match, as opposed to how it just kind of ended. Then you have Seth Rollins. I thought that was funny. That whole segment with Goof Troop himself. What's his name, Raj?
Riddle.
Oh, Matt Riddle.
Yeah. Well, Riddle. I died laughing at that. I'll admit. Seeing him get his behind stomped into the ground. Kurt stomped into the ground.
That was a nice laugh.
Bianca and Becky, I thought that was a good match, but the kind of redemption for last year's SummerSlam. But then what happened after the match? Usually we see shockers, at the end of SummerSlam, but to see that shocker at the beginning of SummerSlam with the women, I'm like, all right, now business is starting to pick up a little bit for the women, and hopefully we can get some of these other women back, such as Sasha Banks and Naomi, with the turnaround. Since Benny Mac is no longer there, and then of course the Tribal Chief. I thought that match was good in the end. I hated that. The only thing is, I just wish he would have beaten him straight up. as opposed to the tribal chief getting help. But it was very chaotic at the end, and you saw that Brock lost. I kind of wish it was more creative about how to keep Brock Lesnar down, because it was just like no matter what, Brock Lesnar was not going to stay down. So I kind of wish that they would have had some, like I said, a creative way or innovative way to just keep the beast down, because I mean it was cool seeing the forklift and then the turning over of the ring and Paul Heyman getting F5 through the table. Like it's like whoa, but I just wish that it was something, because we've seen so many last man standing matches. Like what more, something different to keep Brock Lesnar down. I wish they had did that. Outside of that, though, I thought overall SummerSlam was a fairly good pay-per-view for what it was, and we'll see what the direction of the WWE is moving forward as well. Oh, and I forgot about the Bobby Lashley match. I thought that was cool with the press into the Hurt Lock, and then Austin Theory, of course, getting his behind kicked. I mean, it's always a pleasure to see that.
Drewski, we agree with you, man. In just a week, making big changes. Roger, anything real quick before we get to Goofies?
I'm gonna add just real quick. For tonight on Raw, what I saw a huge difference in was this: Triple H is making a point that he wants to promote the belts. I mean, he did it was an awesome package that they put together for the United States belt. I mean, he showed all the past champions, everybody that made a career name out of that belt. I thought that was awesome to see. So that shows me that he's putting emphasis on things, especially championship belts, because you definitely need them. I mean, when Vince was in there, you wasn't. I mean, of course you had the belts, but there was no emphasis on tag team belts. There was no emphasis on you at the U.S. belt or the only emphasis was the actual championship belts themselves that Roman Reigns had. That was it. Everything else was just a side belt or whatever. But the Intercontinental belt, the U.S. belt, tag team championship belt, he put a good emphasis on it. And also another huge thing that Triple H did tonight.
No, he's better than Dominic.
There was no 3-minute matches tonight. No 2 to 3 minute matches. Everybody got a chance to go out there and showcase themselves, which I want to see more of. I don't want to see these squash matches all the time. I mean, that's what made Raw terrible, and a lot of rematches, of course, as well. But enough with the squash matches. I mean, Triple H has finally done away with them. He's going to limit them as much as possible. Thank God. So that's the two major things I saw tonight. He put an emphasis on the belts, and he let the people go out there and wrestle.
So really quick, can I ask Uncle Raj, since you're talking about squash matches, you don't want to see no more Veer Mahan?
Be honest with you, man, and until he can improve himself a little bit more in the ring, he can step away for a while. I don't even think he was even on tonight. Be honest with you.
I'm about to say, I don't know if he's injured or what, but we haven't seen Veer Mahan, but we've seen he's not Walter anymore. What's his name now? Gunther.
But no, he can. But Gunther can wrestle though. See, I think what Triple H is doing. I'm real quick, Crevonte. We're gonna get to you real quick, but I think what Triple H is doing with Veer Mahan, he's keeping him out. He's putting him in the back in the facilities. He's going to sharpen his skills up, and then he's going to put him back out there when it's his time to go back out there. Because I don't think he was honestly that ready just yet. He was going out there whooping people's asses, and it was hilarious. But I don't think
it was going nowhere. It was going nowhere.
He was going nowhere.
But now he maybe could face a Bobby Lashley or AJ Styles or somebody that has meaning. Maybe beat a Omos. I don't know. Something. Do something with
it. They're going to do something. They're going to do something.
But I say we didn't even see him. I don't think we've seen Omos.
We haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Because he's terrible too. But like I said before, not Triple H. Crevonte, the floor is yours, man. We got to get the Goofies. So.
Oh, but Crevonte, this is pretty much what would happen if Dan Snyder left the Commanders. It would be like WWE. It would be better again.
Yes,
it would be exciting.
You'd be contending for things.
Yes, it would be exciting. You would actually do what's best for business. You would actually push the young influential talent, make sure they're taken care of, have a good quarterback in place, not do goofy things with free agency like spend your money on dumb things or have stupid allegations against you. But Crevonte, it's your time for Goofies of the Week. Let the people know what Goofies of the Week are as we get into your segment, my brother.
Hey man, listen. I just want to say this before I start. I'm all for whatever makes this damn organization better. So if we gotta turn into a match every Wednesday at the Commanders Field, whatever y'all want to call it, let's do it. God damn it! But number one, the brother Daniel Snyder has to go. But anyway, I want to move on to the segment you all know and love. Welcome. I thought he was falling up in here.
That sounds a little airy. I just want you to know that sounds more like it than
that shit sounds like
Goofy.
surround sound or something.
Yo, word. That it sounded like it got louder the second time. I don't know.
The way Crevonte looked, it looked like it was coming for him.
Like, all right, well, show's over, guys. But welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of time to let me tell y'all what I thought was goofy this week. Byron, I don't know if you got my video. It's sent kind of
Yeah, I can show it. I can show it when you're ready.
So I'm gonna do that second because I'm gonna start real goofy and end on a
okay.
Low.
Hang tight. Go ahead, do that, and I'll be right back.
Okay. So goofies of the week. Pretty much me. Either come from me or the panel. We speak on whatever happened goofy between our last show and this current show. I have two cards. I have two levels of goofy. I have a high level goofy and I have a low level goofy. High level is Falcon. Are we still doing Falcon Red? Did we decide on that?
Mm-hmm.
The Falcon Red should for where they are. Yeah, that should be the standard.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty bad this year too.
For a long time to come.
And then we have Jet Green, who I'll have a bold prediction later on about the Jets. But
the Jets haven't been right since Joe named them, so that should be a standard too.
And fair enough, and that's why it is what it is. Jet Green is low level goofy, and Falcon Red is high level goofy. And I think Falcon Red is so appropriate because the goofiest thing almost in sports history, definitely in Super Bowl history, happened when the Falcons played Thomas Edward Patrick Brady in that damn Super Bowl, and they were up by an absurd amount and lost. So I think that and that Seahawks Patriots one. It's crazy that the Patriots are involved in both of them, but are the two most eerie Super Bowls ever potentially. But yes, Falcon Red. There's the high level goofy. These are the things that are absolutely egregious. The NFL has made this list a couple of times. Kevin Durant has made it a couple of times. NFL players of all shapes and sizes has made it to the highest levels of goofies. And of course, the Cowboys and their players have been on this list too. Gone too far. Have to talk about it. Let's congregate. Let's get ourselves together, and we got to talk about how we can get out of this mess. But the Lolo Goofy is more of a funny, haha, kiki. It was funny. I actually don't have many low level goofies because it's kind of hard to come by. Usually when it's goofy, it's really, 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 really goofy. But I have a fun goofy this week, but we gotta start extra goofy this week. So it's going to be Falcon Red this time, guys. It's about the NFL. I'm not even going to put this on. I mean, Deshaun Watson's in the mix as well, but this is the NFL's fault. The reason why the NFL is in the situation that they're in. I mean, Deshaun Watson, the Texans, Browns, they're all wrapped up into this really tight ball of goofiness. And we alluded to it earlier. We talked about it earlier. The NFL has been the most of all the sports, the most inconsistent, probably because they're the biggest one, at least in America, the most inconsistent with everything. especially, and like I was saying earlier, like I mean, on the field stuff, like we still really don't know what a catch is. They
Oh my
changed
God.
they changed the wording and the terminology, but you just made it a little bit more difficult for the refs to call it, if you ask me. But more so, which is more goofy and more egregious, is the off the field issues, and specifically speaking about the sexual misconduct and domestic violence and things of that nature that's been happening with players, coaches, and owners. And it seems like we always get to a point where we're running around like, well, not us, but the NFL is running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to figure out what the rulings should be in the situation, and also, the goofiness of Roger Goodell being judge, jury, and executioner, even though we just have a judge and Roger Goodell can undo all of this, which is also a very, very goofy process because obviously he's working for the 32 owners and not necessarily the players. Again, very, very inconsistent. Things are not across the board. They don't have anything written down that's concrete when it comes to sexual misconduct or misconduct in general. Like, what is the baseline of if somebody does this? Player, and as player, coach, staff, faculty, owner, GM, whatever. What is the line that we are starting with? That is whatever that is very, very blurred. And Dre, you were talking about a couple of players that's where it's proof that it's been very inconsistent from Ray Rice to Ben Roethlisberger. It's just very egregious. And Ray Rice even went from 4 games to being cut. you know what I'm saying? Which is still mind-boggling to me. But as we all can see, I think the NFL is only mirroring what society is and how goofy the justice system is and how goofy society can really be, because it's almost like, not even gonna say almost like, it's absolutely accurate to say that once you reach a certain status, a certain amount of wealth, and a certain amount of power, the rules can be bent a little bit in your direction, in your favor, because we see it all the time. I mean, I talk about the owner of my team all the time. Daniel Snyder's been goofy since 99 2000. You understand? And we ain't been right since. We have Jerry Jones has his own goofiness going on, but Bob Kraft, did we all see how that came? He made goofies. He made goofies of the week when that happened. Did we notice how fast and how we noticed, or I guess I say not notice that kind of came and went? Robert Kraft kind of happened and it kind of went away. Like we just stopped talking about it. So it's like we can't hold. We know in reality everybody's not held to the same standard. We all know everybody's not held in the highest regard or the same regards, right? The owners have more leeway to do certain things, and players don't, and mainly because of billions versus millions. Because Daniel Snyder, even as egregious as he's been, he is still the owner of the Washington Commanders. And Robert Kraft, the goofiness that he was involved in, he's still very much the owner of the New England Patriots. But yet still we got guys like, Ray Rice, they get the short end of the stick. And then we got goofiness like Deshaun Watson. But we can't be dumbfounded now, because the NFL has been very consistent with being inconsistent when it comes to laying down punishments. Roger Goodell it's been said, and we've seen him go a bit hard on players and go a bit soft on other players. And it's like there's no consistency, but it's similar crimes. I've seen domestic violence and sexual misconduct. they're kind of pretty much they're pretty much in the same ballpark. So there should be some type of guidelines that we could point to that say, hey, you did this. This is the minimum you're going to get, and it can go up, but this is the minimum. Not 4, 6, 8, something. There's nothing written down, but there's been too many incidences where it's been going on too long, and it's just like, yo, why do we keep doing this? Do y'all like moving like this? Because one thing that is consistent with the NFL, they don't like looking bad. They do not like looking bad at all in any way, shape, or form. And we talked about it earlier. Even though you are not necessarily convicted of a crime or what have you, you can still get suspended because you work for the NFL, which means you don't have a regular job and you're a celebrity and you can't do no goofiness even on your own time because you work for the NFL. And heaven forbid you be a quarterback. That means you work for the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So the NFL is only mirroring what society and its goofy justice system is. And it's absolutely absurd. And, the 6 games thing, even though it's not official, it's probably going to be 6 or 8. You know what I'm saying? The NFL won it a year, and MPA ain't won nothing. So they got somewhere, not really in the middle, but 6 games and no fines. I'm sure the NFL wanted something a little bit harsher, which is why I think over the next couple of days, they're going to appeal for, I'm thinking probably 8 games and a fine. But all in all, they get paid too much money to not have something in place. But I mean, I guess I could say the government and the United States of America make a lot of money, but they don't. They still have a lot of goofiness in place too, don't they? I mean, we only had a 45th president that had no political background at all. So there's that. Nonetheless, extra goofy. And on the Deshaun Watson part, you did too much, brother. you absolutely did too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad to not see another black brother in jail, but you did too much. And if this sticks with the 6-game suspension, you got off easy, brother. I'll just say that you got off very easy. So yeah, that's my ultra goofy of the week. When the NFL continues to be goofies of the week, almost every other week, especially during the regular season. So boom, that's the extra goofy one, the high level goofy one. Now let's go to a fun one. All right, so in this case, I started goofy and ended not so goofy. I have a video of Rams training camp, and there was Aaron Donald, arguably the best player in the NFL. Oh boy, is that it?
Yeah, let's see if I can play that for you.
And this brother,
so you can't pull it up on a whatchamacallit?
The video might. I don't know if that's gonna. Remember last time we did the video thing? I know still shots are fine. I don't know. I don't wanna. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Aaron Donald, again, best player, arguably in football, and the top defender just got broke off on the LA Rams, was doing a very interesting drill. I can say I've honestly never seen before, but let's look at it.
Fair use.
And I don't even know the brother.
Oh.
The brother who's involved in this drill name, but he's a rookie. I do know that. So, as you can see right here, he's doing the drill, and he has his hand on his neck. You see this, guy? He has his arm on his neck as he's like following, kind of trying to simulate what he's going to do to people, what he's going to do to people when the games really start. What he's going to do to his counterparts on the offensive line. I think Aaron Donald did this drill by himself. I don't think nobody else did this drill. I think this was an Aaron Donald drill. And look, he's ahead.
You're doing a neck thing like.
He keep. He keeps taking as you can see, and then he did a dip and rip. Did you see the end of it? And then he did the dip and rip, like, get off me. You see it? Like, well, one more time. Here we go. Look. Cow. All right, get out of here. Get out of here. You see it? All right, one more time. Look. Come here, young fella. Look. Cow. Get out of here. That's what happened. That's what happened just now. I feel like that's what the defensive line coach was telling him. Like, all right, yo, this is what you're gonna do, yo. You're gonna get him 3 times. Cow. And he will get ripped and he will go get the quarterback. Go find the ball. You know what I'm saying? I bet you there's gonna be no video of nobody else doing this. I promise you. There's no video. This was an Aaron Donald, probably on the spot drill that he wanted to do in some weird way to haze this rookie right here. I gotta get the brother's name, but yeah, I think this rookie. I think he drew the short straw on this one. I think he drew the short straw. And who knows? We may never see this drill again. I just think it's goofy how. Hey, Rook, come here. I want to try something. Stay right there. No, come closer. Cow. And he could dip a rip. Like, I thought it was hilarious.
I just got a quick question. Was this the same drill that Latrell Sprewell was doing to PJ Carlissimo?
Yeah.
No, well, he was doing 2 hands. Sprewell was doing 2 hands, so it's a little bit different. Sprewell was assault. Sprewell was definitely assault. He had 2 hands around the neck, trying to cut off his oxygen supply. Aaron Donald, even though Aaron Donald's hands are not small, it probably took off a good over 50% of this brother's neck. So not as bad, but it's up there. Like I said, this is probably the one and only time we've seen this, because if the NFL gets a whiff of this, Roger Goodell's going to probably say something. He might get a couple games for this one, y'all. And then it will turn into this. But for now, it's just this. One more time. All right, line up. Come here, Rook. All right. We're going, cow. Get out of there. Thanks, Byron.
that is actually really funny. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What are we doing? Who signed up for this? Obviously, like I said, I think the rookie drew the short straw on this one. But that was my fun low-level goofy of the week. I don't have many of them, but I thought that was pretty funny. So again, high-level goofy Falcon Red was the NFL as a whole, and how they chose to deal with, well, the first part of how they tried to they choose to deal with the Deshaun Watson situation, and Aaron Donald making up his drills on the spot, y'all. Or made him up on the spot. He just said, "Rookie, come here, I got something for you." And the rookie was probably all excited. Oh my gosh, Aaron Donald, he's talking to me. Come in. Cow. It's tough. It's tough to be a rookie, huh? But that's my low-level goofy. No, Rod, that's Latrell. It's just one hand with Aaron. Just one hand. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and all these brothers are on the wrong end of it. Y'all got to do better, man. You got to do better.
Do better. Yes, thank you, Crevonte, for that. Thank you for that, Goofy of the Week, Crevonte. If you see something goofy, let us know. Crevonte will be on it. Please, we would love to hear your suggestions. But Dre, as we get ready to wrap up episode 352, episode 353, as Raj bobs his head, what can they look forward to next week?
I think we should be really talking about Justin Fields, because he's gotten such a bad end of the stick. Yes, he can throw the football, but where he's placed, that it's definitely going to hurt him. So I think that the brother deserves a little shine.
My brother. Oh, I hate to see him like this, man. I hate to see it.
We all do.
Damn it.
Yes, we'll be talking about some NFL topics that come out and whatever else in the next couple of weeks. I mean, probably start doing those bold predictions possibly as well and go over some of those things we're looking at. As training camp's wrapping up, preseason games are getting ready to begin. A lot of great content here on the Flex On Podcast YouTube channel, Raj, and let the people know what they need to do if they're watching right now. And shout out to all the new subscribers. I see some people subscribing. Raj's going to let you know what to do.
Hey man, if you're new to this, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna have some more content coming. We got a video coming out tomorrow with the Ravens special teams that Byron did. It's coming out tomorrow, so we're gonna talk special teams with the Ravens. We're gonna do some other things as well. Of course, AEW. Do a live stream on Wednesday as always. The crew is always going to be a part of it. Queen Mia, Juggernaut, a couple others. Do Omar, of course. We got some more stuff coming, man. We getting close to 1,000 right now, so we doing the damn thing. Shout out to my guy Braden for coming on. Shout out to Cordell for coming on this past month. I mean, they helped us tremendously over the past couple months. So we just keep on doing our thing, man. Keep pumping out the content, keep y'all smiling, keep y'all thinking, keep y'all on your toes, man. Because in the world we live in today, there's a lot of goofiness, as Crevonte would say, that's going on. And we just try to keep it lighthearted, and we're trying to keep y'all entertained. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Tell us what you would like us to talk about at times as well.
Yes, for sure. Jersey Dre, start your day with a cup of Dre each and every day. WEAA, let the people know how to keep up with you and how they can catch you on the Friday Night Vibe.
Yes, Monday through Friday, you catch me Good Morning Baltimore from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I do the Flex On Sports Report as well on Mondays and Wednesdays around the 9 o'clock hour. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Keeping us alive.
Executive producer Andre Melton, senior producer Crevonte Her, social media producer Mandel Mixer Streams, Preston, Big Raj, and of course God's favorite host, the host of the Moist Show is truly BKD. Like I said, more Ravens previews come in. I may do something on the coaches. Keep it going. Got the AEW on Wednesday. More content coming. Let us know what you want to talk about. We're doing it all here on the Flex On Podcast. Make sure you hit that bell, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button as well. Episode 353 will be with you next week. 10 p.m. We'll be talking NFL heavy, talking about some bold predictions and talking about, like Dre said, our boy Justin Fields. Follow us at the Flex On One on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to donate, got that Cash App down below, hashtag the Flex On One. And of course, on Talk Now, the Flex On Podcast. It's the only place giving you sports. How you want it, fellas?
When you need it.
And make sure you throw up your ones and acknowledge the Hit the Sports Podcast table, the Flex On Podcast. And all hearts and minds clear. Until next week, rest in peace. Bill Russell one more time. And of course, free Brittany Griner on the Flex On Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Putting the kids to bed, y'all. Until next week, y'all. Have a great night. Thank y'all for watching. Everybody for commenting, tuning in. Queen Mia, thank you for joining us. Big Ooh Snowman. Shoot. Well, we had Ethan in the building. Of course, Mark, GD, Drewski, you was in here as well. Miss Queen, can't forget about you. Everybody that commented, liked. Your boy Stunner Dre, shout out to him as well. He was here. Everybody, like, comment, tuned in, said anything in the chat. We appreciate you. With nothing without you, Flex On family. Nick, we saw you as well. Big shout out to you. Day One and Nick as well. And of course, Brittany as well was in here. Everybody, just much love to the Flex On family. And if you're not part of the family, join the best family on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button right now. Welcome all the new subscribers. And hit the bell to know when we're live and new videos come out. Hit the like button and stay in contact with us. Look down below to keep up with us. And until next week, y'all, for Dre, for Crevonte, for Raj, I'm out of here, y'all. We're gone. Peace. We'll see you for episode 353. Stay tuned for more videos on the channel.
Oh wow! So I was the last one that time. That's crazy about y'all.
You goofy. It's like, no.